Local divorce attorney warns men not to marry higher earning women. In specific, what she means are women who earn higher than them. Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Local divorce attorney warns men not to marry higher earning women. In specific, what she means are women who earn higher than them. Here's what's interesting, and I'm about to play the video where she goes into detail about why marriages with higher earning women don't work, right? Here's what's interesting. She's a divorce attorney, and for the longest time, she made content mainly targeting women. Why? Because we know that women initiate 70% of divorces, right? So for the longest time, she was making content for women. And at one point, she got asked the question. I did a video about this. Her audience had a question for her. They wanted to know, what are the top, I think, 3 professions that men choose that really don't work out for marriages, right? Like, avoid these men. A lot of them were in military, law enforcement. And then she made one for the women, right? And she said, I don't want to do this, because she knew what would come with it. And of course, they didn't like that coffee.
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
So let's get into it. In this video, she explains why marriages with higher earning women don't work. Without any further delay, let's get it.
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men, or where men don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think, I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers, and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because, sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation, where the man is the higher income earner.
So I have to say this. So she's coming from a place where she says, you know, when a woman earns more, you're throwing things off balance. Why? Because men are providers, right? Men are providers. And the resentment doesn't come from the men. It mostly comes from a woman. And a woman is saying this. Well, that's what's beautiful about this whole thing, right? One thing I notice is that women tend to shut up more when they hear it from a woman. Would they agree with her? Probably not, but I don't see them deflecting as much. They can't use the whole like, oh, that's the problem with men. You're insecure. You're intimidated by boss babes, right? But they see a woman like this and they're like, oh, you traitor. What are you doing? Telling the truth. They don't like that coffee.
Put that coffee down.
Number 2 is that the men in these situations that are married to high-powered women, a lot of times, in the ones that I've seen fail, the men tend to be very, for lack of a better word, not motivated. They tend to be, they might be educated, but they don't tend to work very hard. They don't really seem to have a passion for anything.
Say it.
They tend to be lazy.
We know what you're trying to say.
And they tend to kind of rely on the woman
to
run the household.
Beta male. Beta male, dog. That's what she doesn't want to say. Beta males. Beta males, right, tend to be lazy, tend to not take charge of their life. You know, plenty of people out here don't like the idea of alpha males and beta males, right? The idea that there's sort of these hierarchies within men. But the problem is that people don't usually understand this stuff, right? When I talk about alpha, a lot of times it's contextual. In the context of your woman, you're not going to be an alpha to every woman who you come in contact with. How does the woman that you choose to deal with view you? She's talking about a man who lets a woman take charge of her household. She's talking about a beta, bro. Let's get back into it.
I mean, she does the bills, she does the finances, she takes care of the kids if there are any. She kind of is the CEO of the household. They just don't seem to really contribute much. It's the opposite of a traditional stay-at-home mom dynamic where the mom is running the household and the husband is working every day and paying for the expenses. The woman in that situation tends to do it all. And so I just think that over time it just weighs on her and she's just like, I'm out of here. Or the man will cheat, as in my last video. And then finally, what's really interesting about these divorces is they tend to be the cheapest. Women who are the breadwinners,
listen up,
they're
guys.
Protecting their money. I mean, men do too, but not like the women do. And they tend to really push their husbands behind the scenes to settle. They tend to have to pay the entire bill and they don't want to pay that bill. So they keep the process really streamlined and quiet. So
personally, I think she did a really good job explaining why marriages with high earning women don't work. What I really want to also focus on is what she said at the end. She said the type of divorces where the woman turns to be the breadwinner, she turns to be the higher earning person within a marriage, are the cheapest divorces. She says because women really hold on to that money, right? And when you understand female nature, when you're RP aware, it makes sense. It makes sense when you understand that women are takers, not givers, right? They're gatherers. She takes resources. So there's a couple of problems I see there. Not only are you in a position where she doesn't respect you, right? Because remember what she said, most of the times it's the women that build resentment. You might think, oh, I'm secure. It doesn't matter what you think, bro. Female nature will always win. If she does not respect you, what? She's going to initiate the divorce. She's going to leave you. Why? Because she doesn't matter how much she loves you. If there's no respect there, if she's building resentment, doesn't matter how secure you are in the fact that your woman earns more money than you. Most women will either one, think they can do better than you because of hypergamy, because they look at you and you're lazy, right? I think here's another part of this, right? The guys that are out here and think they don't have to try and love is going to get them through, right? I'm going to be the stay-at-home dad and it's all good. That shit doesn't work, bro. When you're talking about it, right? When you're in love and you're talking about how, oh, don't worry, babe, you won't have to do any of that. You can be a stay-at-home dad and I make more money than you and it's all good. It sounds like a good idea, but people forget human nature exists, female nature exists, male nature exists. Right? When it comes to actually practicing that out, many people don't know themselves. And a lot of women especially, right, are blind to themselves, or they think, oh, I'm different. I'm going to make this work. So like I was saying, not only are you prone to being emasculated by a woman growing resentful because she earns more than you, but you also leave the marriage with peanuts, right? Because women are master gatherers. And you're going to feel obligated to let her take it because your natural propensity as a man who's a provider is to say, you know what, she probably needs it more than me. You lose on both ends, right? And I don't like that coffee.
This coffee smells like shit.
Hey guys, as always, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about the topic. Leave your comments down below. I'll be checking them out. Listen, I appreciate you guys for checking out this episode of The Coffee Pod. Until next time, man, I'm out. Peace.